What's up, YouTube? This is JCap. Today I'm bringing you guys another video, and today I'm talking about more team changes. If you saw the video yesterday, I talked about team changes that happened now 2 days ago. However, now I'm going to talk about the team changes that happened yesterday. So we're going to get into that in a second. But before we get into that, we got to focus on what I did for my birthday dinner, okay? Because it's amazing, okay? It was a great birthday dinner, and here's what happened. So I get up around like 2 o'clock, I got the Monday after an event, I always sleep really good. So I got like 12 hours of sleep last night, something like that. It was great, great sleep. Okay, so I get up at 2. I decide, hey, I don't really want to eat breakfast or lunch because I'm going to be going to dinner at 6. I'm going to get a 16-ounce filet mignon. So why am I going to eat right now? I'm just going to save it all for dinner. So we go to dinner. By the way, it's called like the Library. If you ever heard of it, it's obviously not a library. It's just like a steakhouse called the Library. I don't know. I don't think it's a chain. I think it's just local for me, but whatever. Not important. Okay, steakhouse, really good steakhouse, blah, blah, blah. 16-ounce filet. I order it, and a baked potato. Don't forget the baked potato. The baked potato is really good. But a 16-ounce filet, and I get it, and there's like a lot of fat. Like, I don't know about you guys. A lot of people like fat on their steaks. I'm not a fan, okay? So, a lot of fat. The waitress comes by, and I'm just like, listen, there's a lot of fat. Like, is there any chance I could get a little more or something to make up for it? And she's like, oh, yeah, do you want another 16 ounce? And I was like, whoa, well, I'm not going to eat another 16 ounce because at this point, I probably eat another, like, probably like 10 ounces of steak. Just the other 6 were like a lot of fat. So, I get another 8 ounce instead, eat that, great dinner, and, that's good and all. It's good. Baked potatoes good, like I said. But here's what's really cool, okay? Listen. Since I had, like, the problem with all the fat, and since they knew it was my birthday, they offered me a free dessert. Dude, who would have thought? Dude, a free dessert. It was great. Okay, but listen, here's what I got. It's called brownie a la mode. It's in my hand right now. You guys can't see it, but it's in my hand. You're about to be mind blown. Okay, look. Everyone look. You see that? Like, get a good angle. There you go, dude. Look at it. So I'm about to eat this baby right now. I'm recording this in case you can't tell. It's actually the night before this video goes public, but I'm recording it. And dude, look at this. Look at the brownie. Look at the ice cream. Oh my god. Okay, not important. Anyway, time to get into the roster changes. May have gotten sidetracked for a little bit longer than I expected right there, but roster changes, okay? So, for those of you, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, going into yesterday, FaZe Black needed 1, Optic Nation needed 3, and let me think. I'm trying to think. I think that was it going into yesterday. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so anyway, here's what happened yesterday. First things first, to kick off the day of roster changes, Dito goes from TK to FaZe Black. So that means FaZe Black's roster is now Saints, Censor, Formal, and Dito, which is basically Strictly Business's roster from the past few events with Formal in for Apathy, which is, I think, a really interesting trade. I think Apathy never really put up the best stats for those guys, but he was a real big playmaker for those guys. So we'll see how the new team works. Formal's obviously a good player, but it's all about how you guys mesh. Obviously, I've talked about this before. It's all about how you mesh. So we'll see how Formal goes instead of Apathy. And then, so with Dito on FaZe Black, that left an open spot on TK. Okay, but we'll get into that in a second. Because after that, I think the next thing that happened was Optic Nation picked up Ricky, who was on Strictly Business at the time, and then Killa and Miracles, who are both on Justice at the time. So what happened there is then that left Strictly Business, obviously looking for 1, and actually forget who they picked up. I don't know, whatever though. So as left Strictly Business looking for 1 and TK looking for 1. So Neslo from Justice, obviously he had a lot of success with TK in the past. Neslo goes back to TK. So now TK's roster is Apathy, Neslo, Gunjar, and Sharp, which I think is going to be a good team. It's very similar to the original TK, which was just Theory for Apathy. And I think those two are very similar players, so I think they'll still be really good. So that leaves Justice now with only Stainville. And then since he's the only one left, Stainville decided to join Strictly Business, whose roster is now John, Spacely, Methods, and Stainville. But I think it's a really weird fit considering the 3 of them are really young, and then Stainville's like a veteran who's much older than those guys. But it doesn't really matter team-wise. I'm just saying it's an interesting fit. They can still be a really good team. And then that leaves Justice now with no roster. they went ahead and they picked up BL Twiz, Doubt, and Sin, who I think could be like a sleeper team. I think Doubt and Sin obviously went the chance with Xfinity, and then I think BL Fire and Twiz have been kind of out of the scene a little bit, like so far in this game. Not say out of the scene, but they haven't really been made a huge impact yet, and they've really been overlooked. So I think they could really come in as like a sleeper squad and impress some people. But that's really all the roster changes I'm pretty sure from today. So that's all that. Like I said, I think yeah, no, every team now has changed their roster since champs except COL obviously. And also a side note that I want to think because I think is really interesting is that there have been some people, multiple like probably like 5 people at least in the community who have represented 3 different organizations between this past weekend and right now. 3 different organizations in the span of what has it been? 4 days? That's crazy. Obviously, like the circumstances around it all have been different. You know, like some interesting circumstances, but nonetheless, I just think that's a crazy stat. That many organizations in that short time. But that's all I got for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, especially to talk about my freaking delicious dessert that is about to get devoured. So good. But thanks for watching, guys. As always, this has been JCap. We'll see you later.